Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Personal Development School video series. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that affects all of us, whether we realize it or not. We all have bad habits that we want to break. But why is it so hard to do so? In this video, we will explore the psychology behind habit formation and give you some tips on how to break bad habits for good and increase your mental health awareness. We all have bad habits that we want to break, whether it's biting our nails, procrastinating, or eating junk food. These habits can be frustrating and can hold us back from achieving our goals. But why do we form these habits in the first place? To answer that, we need to understand the psychology behind habit formation. So grab a pen and paper, sit back, relax, and let's get started. The habit loop. Habits are powerful. They can either work for us or against us, depending on whether they're good or bad. Unfortunately, bad habits are often difficult to break. Why is that? Because they're ingrained in our brains as habits. In order to understand how to break bad habits, we need to understand the habit loop. The habit loop is a 3-step process that consists of a cue, routine, and reward. According to Charles Duhigg, author of The Power of Habit, the habit loop is the foundation for all habits. The first step in the habit loop is the cue. A cue is something that triggers the habit. It can be anything from an emotion, a time of day, a location, or even a specific person. The cue is what initiates the habit and sets it into motion. The second step in the habit loop is the routine. The routine is the behavior or action that follows the cue. This is the part of the habit we want to change. Bad habits are often the result of a routine that is detrimental to our health or well-being. The third and final step in the habit loop is the reward. The reward is the positive outcome that follows the routine. This is what reinforces the habit and makes it more likely to happen again in the future. To illustrate the habit loop, let's take the example of smoking. Every time you feel stressed, you light up a cigarette. Cue. Take a few puffs, routine, and feel a temporary sense of relaxation, reward. Over time, this habit becomes deeply ingrained in your brain. The cue, routine, and reward become intertwined, making it difficult to break the habit. So, how do we break bad habits? By understanding the habit loop and identifying the cue that triggers the bad habit. Once we've identified the cue, we can replace the routine with a healthier one that provides the same reward. For example, instead of smoking when you're stressed, you could go for a walk or do some deep breathing exercises. These healthier habits can still provide the reward of relaxation, but without the negative effects of smoking. The same can be said for your own personal development school. Once you identify the factors that help you in your personal journey, then you start to become more aware of what can make you successful. The power of habit stacking. Have you ever wanted to start a new habit but struggled to remember to do it consistently? Maybe you've tried setting reminders or using an app, but still found it difficult to stick to the habit. If this sounds familiar, you may want to try habit stacking. Habit stacking is a technique that involves attaching a new habit to an existing habit. By doing this, you create a habit loop that makes it easier to remember and stick to the new habit. Habit stacking is a simple but powerful strategy that can help you build new habits and make them stick. To illustrate how habit stacking works, let's take the example of wanting to start a daily meditation practice. Meditation is a great habit to cultivate, but it can be difficult to remember to do it every day. With habit stacking, you can attach your new habit of meditating to an existing habit that you already do every day. For example, if you drink coffee every morning, you can attach your meditation practice to your coffee ritual. So every time you make your morning coffee, you take 5 minutes to meditate. By stacking your new habit on top of an existing habit, you create a habit loop that makes it easier to remember and stick to the new habit, and also have a better understanding of mental health awareness. Habit stacking can be used for any new habit that you want to cultivate. Some examples include doing a short workout after you brush your teeth at night, practicing gratitude every evening before you go to bed, drinking a glass of water every time you sit down at your desk. The key to habit stacking is to choose an existing habit that you do consistently and attach your new habit to it. This way, you create a natural cue that triggers your new habit, making it easier to remember and stick to it. The role of willpower. Let's move on to the role of willpower. Have you ever tried to resist a temptation like a delicious dessert or a social media scroll, but found it difficult to do so? You may have heard of willpower, the mental strength that helps us resist temptation and make difficult decisions. But did you know that willpower is a finite resource that can be depleted throughout the day? Willpower is like a muscle. It can be trained and strengthened, but it can also get tired and worn out. Every time you use your willpower to make a decision to resist temptation, you are using up a little bit of your mental energy. And just like a muscle that gets tired after a workout, your willpower can get depleted throughout the day. For example, if you use a lot of willpower to resist eating junk food in the morning, you may find it hard to resist later in the day when your willpower is depleted. This is because your brain has a limited amount of mental energy to use throughout the day. And every time you use your willpower, you are using up some of that energy. So what does this mean for building new habits? It means that relying on willpower alone may not be the most effective strategy. Instead, building new habits can help conserve your willpower for other tasks. When you build a habit, you create an automatic routine that doesn't require as much mental energy or willpower to complete. For example, if you want to start exercising regularly, relying on willpower alone to get up early and go to the gym may not be sustainable in the long run. However, if you build a habit of going to the gym at the same time every day, it becomes an automatic routine that doesn't require as much mental energy or willpower to complete. The importance of accountability. Accountability is an important factor in creating and maintaining new habits in your own personal development school. It can help us stay on track and motivated, especially when we face obstacles or setbacks. But what exactly is accountability? And how can it help us with our habits? At its core, accountability is about taking responsibility for our actions and being answerable to someone else. When it comes to habits, accountability means finding ways to make ourselves answerable for sticking to our habits. This can involve telling someone else about our habits and goals, or finding an accountability partner or support group to help us stay on track. One of the simplest ways to create accountability is to tell someone else about our habits and goals. For example, if you want to start going to the gym 3 times a week, telling a friend or family member about your goal can help create a sense of accountability. This is because you don't want to disappoint your friend or family member by not following through on your commitment. By making your goal public, you are more likely to stick to it. This is also a great way to have the people close to you cheer you on in your journey to a higher mental health awareness. Another way to create accountability is to find an accountability partner or join a support group. An accountability partner is someone who shares your goals and is committed to helping you stay on track. You can check in with each other regularly, share your progress and setbacks, and hold each other accountable for sticking to your habits. Joining a support group, whether in person or online, can also help provide accountability and motivation. By connecting with others who share your goals and struggles, you can find support, encouragement, and accountability to help you stick to your habits. So in conclusion, breaking bad habits can be challenging, but understanding the psychology behind habit formation can help. By identifying the cues that trigger our bad habits, replacing the routine with healthier habits, and building new habits instead of relying on willpower, we can break bad habits for good. And don't forget the power of accountability. Having someone to keep us on track can make all the difference. So what bad habit are you going to break? Let us know in the comments below and share this video with someone who needs help breaking a bad habit. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell to be notified of our latest videos.